we are going to go over how to change color in Photoshop, and then if we have time, we're also going to go over the dollhouse transformations that were submitted. That assignment is one of my favorite assignments, and I like to share it with everybody to see what you guys worked on. All right, so to get started, what we'll be doing today, we'll be learning a new layer transformation called hue saturation. We'll be going over how to select different colors, not just different objects, but certain colors in a file. And then we'll review how to copy layer masks. That's something that came up quite a bit last week. So I talked to a few people individually, and then I did kind of an overall review, and it'll be good to go over it again today as well. So when we start this, I mentioned in the assignment that I want you to have two of these open. So I have wrong color t-shirt, and then I also have wrong color t-shirt exercise. So what you can do to get two copies is go ahead and take the one that you are in now and go to Save As, and then maybe add the word exercise to the end, like I did. Bless you. Then what you guys should notice is once you're able to save this as the exercise, if you go to File and then down to Open Recent, you should see the original one. So we're going to do one together as an exercise in class, and then you guys are going to do another one on your own as the assignment. So now you can see I have both of them open. Right now they're essentially a copy of one another, but what we do is the exercise will be different from the assignment. That's why I wanted two files. Does anybody need help renaming or reopening? You guys got it okay? All right. Okay, so with that, we are starting out with a blue shirt, a white shirt, and an orange shirt. And the point of this assignment, this is pretty lame, but you guys know me by now. So I am a fan of the Utes up the street. And so the joke of this assignment is that if you're wearing a blue shirt, BYU, you're wearing the wrong colored shirt, and we need to change it to be red. So each one of these three shirts, despite the color, we are going to learn how to change its hue so that it'll be red or whatever color that we want. Okay, so to start off, let's just show you guys where the hue saturation transformation layer is. And if you pull down on here, remember levels from last week? What we want this week is hue saturation. So go ahead and start there, and as soon as you click on it, it should kick you out and go to your properties, where we can change the properties of hue saturation. So take a look here. On hue, do you see that when I drag it to the right, when I'm in the blue area, it kind of turns purple? And then when I go red, it almost turns orange? Right? So it's not really changing the color that I think it should be changing to. Let me explain what's happening here. So we started off with a blue shirt, right? So what you have to imagine is this is paint. So if you had blue paint and you added this like green or yellow to it, do you know how blue and yellow make green? That's what it's doing right now. And for me, that's too much to think about because I can't think, okay, what color do I add to this color to make that color? So do you guys see this little button right here called Colorize? That will just change it to that particular color. And this is how I like to work because now, wherever I slide this, it's changing it to be that color. So see how when I go down to the reds, it still is, you know, showing it a darker red, but it's getting it more to the reds and not just a mix. Do you guys see that okay? So before we address his, let me go over here, his zombie skin, you know, the kind of blue-green zombie skin, let's just play with the properties for a minute. So to get it more of a vibrant red, you can go to your saturation and turn it up. And then so the saturation is how bright or how vivid that color is. And then the lightness controls how light or how dark that color is. And I know that right now it's kind of hard to see because it's also changing our background, right? So what I'm going to do right now is ask you guys, going back to our layers. So I hopped out of properties and I'm in layers now. I'll give you guys a minute to meet me here. What do you guys see on our screen? And what do you think that we can do to isolate the color change just to the shirt? Yeah, we can do a mask. Do you see how this automatically brought in a mask for us? Right. And it's all white, so everything is fair game. Now, if we were doing this correctly, once we mask, what other color should we see on here? Good. So just to help me see things a little bit better, let me turn this off for a minute so I see my shirt again. And you guys can turn it off for a minute too. And right now, if I asked you guys to select the blue shirt, would you guys be able to mask that? Not mask it yet, but at least select it pretty easily. Yes. Right? So we could go to wand. That's my default. I don't know what your default is, but I could probably go to wand. And it only took me a couple seconds to grab his shirt. Okay. What would be the next step? So I have it selected, and in the past we've clicked on this mask button and we have a mask. But see how in this case it already exists? So we have something selected, we have a mask. What's our next step? Sorry? Did you say alt and drop? Not yet. We can copy that later. That'll help us later, so keep that in your back pocket.
Go back to the hue saturation.
Yeah, so I'm back here. And then, Cami, can you help me out with the next step too?
With your blue shirt layer mask, yeah, and you click on the filler adjustment layer.
So,
and go back to hue and saturation.
okay. Now that I'm here, I'm back on my mask, right? And I have this selected. So how can I mask the t-shirt in this case? What needs to happen to the mask here? Megan, were you going to answer?
Me.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say right click and it's one of those.
Not quite. So let me back up a little bit, and I'm just going to start this whole thing over from the beginning, because this takes us back kind of to the beginning of class, and this is something that you all should be comfortable with. So this is something that at this point should be intuitive and popping up. So if we were just doing this step by step, let me tell you how the mask works, and then I'm going to ask you guys again to see if you guys can make that connection. So going back to our first few classes, in the big picture, when we mask something, first we select what we want to mask, right? And then if we didn't just click on the automatic selection, like if we clicked on something, we could click that mask button, and I'll do it both ways, okay? So let me do it the way that you're comfortable with. If we were just masking this, we would select it, right? And then what button would we hit? Yep, it looks like the flag of Japan, right? Yeah, you would click on that and then it would automatically mask the t-shirt. So let me do it that way real quick. Let me hit Control Z. So this is back, and I hit the flag of Japan. And let's turn off the other two shirts so we can see what's been masked. Okay, see how right now we just see the t-shirt and we don't see him, right? So that is one way of masking, and that works well too. But in this case, let's pretend we didn't do that, and then in a minute I'm going to come back to you because I know you know the second part of this. But before we do that, if I didn't have this step right here, how would I fill that mask without doing it automatically, right? So what color needs to go on that mask? Black, right? And how do we apply the color black? There's a couple different ways. Yep, I can brush. That takes a minute, yep. the bucket, that gradient bucket, is faster because I can just spill it in there. Are little light bulbs going off? I know we're just coming off of midterms. Technically it's fall break, but we're here. But are you guys making that connection right now? Okay, so we're gonna do this together once, and then we're gonna start the whole process again. And during that second time, what we're going to do, so the first time I'm gonna walk you through everything step by step. The second time we do it, I'm gonna have you guys help me. So Julianne, I'll start with you, and then David, you'll give me the next step, and then Cammie, and so on, okay? Let me show it, so just look at me do it right now. I'm gonna show you step by step, and then we'll do it together as a class. So let's try it one more time. And I'm gonna go back to the very, very beginning, okay? Wrong t-shirt. And then from here, just to help me, I'm gonna turn off these other shirts. So I'm only on blue t-shirt right now. And the point of this is so that the color transformation only goes on the t-shirt and I don't end up giving him weird zombie skin. Okay, that's the point. So if I come down here, I am going to add hue saturation. And you guys can see if I change it, his lips turn a luscious yellow color, right? Not really what I want. So I'm gonna go back to my layers and I want to select this blue t-shirt. So I can do it now without turning off the hue saturation, right? Okay, there's his shirt. And then G is the shortcut for the paint bucket. And if you look on your shortcuts, when I hit G, it did select the paint bucket. But if you haven't been here for a while or your computer got reset, do you see how G could also still be gradient? So in my case, I do want it to be paint bucket. And that's a right click to get there. Now, right now, I know you guys said I needed a black color, but am I on black right now? See how I'm on red? I don't know what I was doing that I selected red, but I'm gonna click on black. And then I'm going to spill in his shirt. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Don't spill in his shirt. Where should I have put the color? Yeah, on the mask. So I want to go first select my mask layer. And then when I spill it on the shirt, do you see how it did kind of the opposite of what I wanted? So what I can do there, this is going back several weeks, I can hit Control I, and that inverts my selection. So if I'm here on my mask, if I do Control I, take a look at my mask. See how it's inverting it from black to white? And then back again. Okay. And that allows me to just get it on the shirt. Okay, so that's the first way, right? Now, many of you guys were talking about putting the mask on the shirt first and then kind of copying it up. Is that correct? Like you guys were thinking about copying it up? So now I'm going to do it that way too. David, you good? That looked like a question look for me.
I can't. No.
You're good?
Well, no, it won't drop over here.
So wait for me for 1 sec. You probably need to invert it, but let me walk through it first and then we'll do it together. I just wanted you to see the process and then we'll troubleshoot. Lamia?
Repeat the process.
Okay, I'm not ready yet, but almost. Let me show it to you guys one more way and then we'll all do it together. So I'm going to delete this and we're starting from almost the beginning again. I say almost the beginning because see how these shirts are still off? That's the point that I'm starting from. So this is what I think you guys are comfortable with. First, you select the shirt, okay? And then you add the mask, right? He's gone. That's okay. He wasn't that good looking. And now I'm still going to add that hue saturation, but I go back to my layers, and in this case, I can drag and drop this right on top, replace layer mask. And see how now the mask is only here and I removed it from down here? If I wanted to have just copied it and not dragged and dropped it, so copy so that the mask was still up here and down here, what key would I have held down on my keyboard? Thank you. Yay, they're with me. Good. Do you guys see why I didn't want to copy it, that I just wanted to drag and drop it? Because I don't want his head to be gone. I really just wanted to mask the t-shirt. And so I'm masking the t-shirt for the color, but not for the main image. Right? So let's start it again from the top. And we're going to do it both ways still. How about we start with the masking method that you're comfortable with, and then we'll do it the other way. Does that sound good? Should we start with what you're comfortable with? Okay. Even though this is something you're comfortable with, I'm going to show you a new thing right now. I'm going to show you a new way of selecting groups of colors. So remember the first week of class I showed you guys how to do all the different selection methods, and magic wand was basically useless. So not quick selection, but the actual magic wand. Today the magic wand will actually help us. So go ahead and go to your magic wand tool, and I'm going to show you how it might help. Everybody got it? Okay. Now what I want you guys to do is to right click on your screen, and you should see this menu, and what we're looking for is color range. Do you guys see that? Okay, so click on color range, and I'm going to move this off to the side, but right now see how almost everything is selected? If you click on his blue shirt, do you see that it's getting all the blues? And depending on where you're clicking on the shirt, it gets different types of blues. So you're trying to select as much of the blue as possible. One thing you can do to kind of control this is your fuzziness set to 40, Yeah. If you go up on that, it's going to grab more blue. Don't go too much, because see how it ends up just looking like a solid t-shirt? You still want some shadow to it. So I'm going to take mine up to about 85. Okay. One other thing that you could also do when you're in here, sometimes this works for me, sometimes it doesn't, but see how I can go and select blues? But see how it's kind of dark, it's not quite as white? So there are so many different colors of blue in here, it's not getting all of the blue. Some of them might be too close to the white, some of them might be close to the cyan color. So in this case, I think it's better to go back to sampled color and stay here. But those are the two ways that you can select color. Did everybody get that okay? Or I'd be happy to show you one more time. You guys got it? Okay. Once you have it selected, go ahead and click on OK. So we got most of it. There's a little bit in his underarm that's missing. That's okay. We can add that later. But now let's just go ahead and add a mask. And now we can really see where it missed some of the color. But who knows, by the time we add the red, it might look nice to have that like shadowy effect. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add our hue saturation. And that should go right on top. So I'm just gonna skip back to my layers, right on top. And now you guys should be able to just drag and drop this mask right on top and say yes to replace the layer mask. So this is what your layer manager should look like now. Your t-shirt mask should have been moved to your hue saturation layer. And then to make sure it worked, come back down and select your hue saturation, go to your properties, and try to make a red t-shirt. So now you guys will know when you're looking through a catalog how they can get one person to be in this exact same position over and over again with different colored t-shirts. Or even if there's like the same t-shirt not on a person, but the same wrinkles and everything. It's Photoshop. Halloween's coming up. If you want to see what you look like with pink or purple hair, this is how you do it. Were you guys able to get a red shirt? Yeah. So one thing I'm noticing on mine, it may have been the magic wand selection. Do you see how I have a really hard edge around my shirt? I'm not loving that. I think that looks pretty Photoshopped to me. So let's do it this way now. Let's delete that particular mask. Bless you. And I'm going to turn off the red. I'm not going to delete it. I'm just turning it off. Go back to your blue t-shirt and select it using the quick selection tool this time. Let's see if we get a better mask. So it's those same steps. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but on this layer, I'm grabbing the shirt, adding the mask, and then dragging and dropping it. Looks a little bit better. I got a little bit crazy up here, but did everybody get that okay? Pretty decent? Now one thing I would like to do while I'm here, I'm going to preview my layer mask, which is really hard to do, red on red. But since I kind of spilled up into this area, I'm going to go to my brush tool and I'm going to clean this up. So see how my color is set to black? I'm adding to my mask right now. So it doesn't look like I'm doing a lot, but I am. I'm in my brush tool. I'm making sure that paint is black so I can add to it. In a minute, I'm going to have to change it back to white because see how I went too far. And I'm also making sure that I'm working on my mask layer, not any of these other 4 things that I can be clicked on. So right now, see how I got rid of too much mask? I did that on purpose. If I hit the X button, do you see how it automatically changes the color to white for me? So I have to go down here and click on it. So now that it's back white, I can come up here. I'm going to zoom in even more. And I'm throwing a whole bunch of stuff at you guys. I'm using the brackets. I know you can't see this on my screen, but the brackets next to the slash on your keyboard, if you go to the bracket on the right, it makes your brush bigger. If you go to the bracket on the left, it makes it smaller. But your caps lock has to be off. Now I'm just giving them disgusting pimples. So tell me what key to hit to switch my color back to black.
X.
Good. X. So I can take this off again. And then if I wanted to reduce the size of my brush, what keys are those on my keyboard?
Brackets.
The brackets. The brackets won't work if what key is on? Caps lock. I wanted to cry when I figured that out. I thought something was wrong. Like, I don't know. Okay. So that's how we would start with changing the hue saturation on something. Now, I do want you guys to still be comfortable adding your mask without using the automatic mask. Like, I know that that's really easy, but just in case, I want you to know both ways, because knowing the second way will also teach you guys how to edit your masks too, whether it's brushes or gradients. So I would like to do it that way too. So let's turn this one off. Okay, we'll save it because we know it works. And let's go ahead and add one more hue saturation. and jump right back to our layers. So now this will be the one. I've already shown you how to do it, but we're going to do it together, and we'll do it as slow as possible, okay? So with this one, Julianne, I want you to start me off with what layer you'd even start with, because see how right now I don't have any layers selected? Start me off even there. Where would you start?
On the blue shirt.
Blue shirt. And then Cami, can you tell me why we would start on blue shirt even though we're working with hue and saturation?
You need to mask.
Yeah, we need something to select. There's nothing on this layer for us to select. Good. Maddie, what tool do you like to mask with or to select with before we mask?
I like to use quick selection.
Good, that's what I like to. So I'm going to hit W, mine is set to quick selection. And now let's just drag and pull. Okay, get as much of the t-shirt as possible. And this might be the part where it gets a little bit tricky for you guys, but who knows? So Lamia, now that I have the t-shirt selected, where would you go next?
Like on the flag.
Not yet. We're doing it the second way, so this will be the long way. So Ashley, let me ask. Oh wait, Lamia, do you know what you would do?
Click the right.
Let me see if Ashley might be able to help you. Ashley, do you know where to go next? Or where you think you might go next? And I know this is the tricky part.
You drag it to the hue now.
Not yet, because we only have ants marching, right? So I'm going to ask you guys over here. Anybody on this side or anybody in this what was that?
Color range.
Yeah, so we, not yet, not color range, because we already have it selected. We, Maddie selected magic wand, so we just grabbed it using the magic wand. Megan, did you say it?
Paint bucket.
Yeah, we want the paint bucket, because see how we have a mask here that's totally white? We want to just mask off of our t-shirt. So Megan, before we can do paint bucket, so Ashley or Lamia, which layer or where in my layer manager should I click on first? Stephanie? You made eye contact. The white box, yep. So what we're going to do now, we're going to click into our mask because that's where we want to paint. We don't want to accidentally paint the blue t-shirt black, so we want to be on our mask. Does that make sense? Yep, okay. So now we're on our mask, and Megan let us know that we need to do the gradient bucket. So we've got that here. And right now, if I click to the outside, or if you click to the outside, does it work? No, because what we've done, we've selected the t-shirt. So where do I have to click? The t-shirt. So I click into the t-shirt, and right here you can see that I do have the t-shirt on here. It worked. I have a mask. So to deselect the other Maddie, how do I deselect? Wait, are you not the other Maddie? Oh, no, Abby, sorry. Maddie, Abby. Yeah. How do I deselect?
Control D.
Good, Control D. Now it's deselected. Let's go to our properties on our hue saturation. So I clicked hue saturation, and tell me if that worked. Did we mask the right thing? It's Halloween, guys. Come on, be good sports. Okay, so we wanted the t-shirt, but we did it the opposite. So I'm going to go back to our layer manager. Does anybody remember the shortcut that I can click on the mask to invert it? Control I, good. So if you click on your mask, if you hit Control I, it flips it. So again, I know that that was the slightly longer way of doing things, but it's important to know how to go through those steps because, for example, let's say that you started a project where you mask something off. And then on that mask, you want to add something to it, right? There could be like another t-shirt. One thing that's common is if you take a family photo and you want to brighten up everybody's like teeth or eyes, you could start off by grabbing one person's teeth. Maybe there's like 12 people in the picture, and you grabbed 10 people and you masked it and you lightened up their teeth, and then you notice that you missed 2 people. So to add those people to the mask, you would do what we just did, right? You'd have to go through, select their teeth, their smile, whatever, and then use your paint bucket or your brush to add it to the mask. So it's important that you know how to do it, whether it's at the beginning or kind of at the middle of the process, okay? So what I'd like you guys to do now is don't do the white shirt yet. Please go to your orange shirt, and I want you to start the whole process over, okay? I want you to add the hue saturation. I want you to add the mask. However you feel comfortable for now, just go ahead and start it over and change this orange shirt to also be red. And then I'll come around in just a minute and help you guys if you need help. But I want you to try it on your own, just for a minute. That when you try the white t-shirt, you're going to run into a little bit of trouble. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what kind of trouble, but you're going to run into trouble. See if you can troubleshoot it, and then I'll check in to see if you could figure out how to get around it. I know I'm being very, very vague right now, but just know you're going to run into trouble. See if you can troubleshoot it. If not, I will be here to help. I'll go through it with all of you. Okay, I'm going to jump into the white t-shirt with you guys. Okay, Megan got it. Did the Alt key help you?
Well, I get what you're talking about now, I think.
Okay. Let me show you my hint for the white t-shirt. So everything else is off, correct? And this isn't meant for you to follow along with me. I'm really just showing you right now. I still have to add my hue saturation. And I'm just going to turn this up. So again, we've got Frankenstein skin. Really cool for Halloween, but not today. So my Alt key meant that, and I totally skipped over this. So if you go, let me try to select the white t-shirt. That was a big cheat, Naima. So the magic wand can almost get the shirt, so it's actually doing pretty good. But see how it always slips out? It has a hard time discerning between white and white. So magic wand didn't get it. Sorry, quick selection didn't get it. And there's no way magic wand is going to be able to see the difference between this white and that white. So that was the troubleshooting the trouble I was talking about. Now to help you, see how I have these 2 other beautiful masks up here that have already been masked to that same shirt? If I hold the Alt key down, I can copy it here. And now, whatever I change on the white shirt hue saturation will only be on the white shirt. I grabbed the wrong mask. It was the one that I did with the magic wand with all the holes in it, but that's what I meant by the Alt key. Does that help? And you guys can use lab time. It's not due until next week, so it's okay if you don't finish today. We pull it up. So for this assignment, for the exercise portion of it, you can just turn in the Photoshop file. You don't need to turn in your JPEGs. But for the assignment, you will change each shirt to a different color. So not red, because we just did 3 red shirts. So don't do red again, but do 3 new colors. And what I also want you to do for each shirt, I want you to add a logo. And I put corresponding logo just so they go together. So like if it's the Utah Jazz, make it like a Utah Jazz color. If it's a band, try to fit it with like whatever the logo of the band is. And then for the actual assignment, I want the 3 JPEGs of your shirts. So in total, you'll be turning in 5 files. You'll be turning in the 2 PSDs from your assignment and exercise, right? And then just 3 JPEGs from each one of your shirts. So I will be able to see 3 t-shirts. Each one of them will be a different color, and each one will have a different logo. Got it? Right. Oh, I don't think I have. We did do a couple already. So, what was that? You actually have this rug? That's so funny. So last week, I don't think we did examples from this class. I think it was from last semester. So this is from your class. This is what's been turned in. So just take a peek while you're working. Cool. These look good. Hey! Paraglider! You wanted to see that again? That's so funny. Cool. Whose is this? Sorry. Oh, Carmen's not here. Oh, wait, Cram. Sorry. I thought that said Carmen, not Cram. How did you do these? Did you do each one? Okay, cool. And you put all of the, so it wasn't like one that was already built, like you built each one. Okay, and you just pulled. Okay, cool. These look really good. Tell me again what a fiddle leaf fig, is that what this is called? Fiddle leaf, okay. This turned into like a joke in one of my classes because everybody had one, but nobody like coordinated. It was pretty funny.
They're easy to mask too.
Are they?
Yeah, well,
I'm
it's
surprised.
a big leaf. You know,
Oh, got it.
I tried to mask a spider plant and
Oh no.
Right away.
Did you feel like you were doing the parachute all over again? I love all the art in here. Oh man, this is what I like. Jean, I'm coming over to your place. That's awesome. My kid wants one of these so bad. Like, and he thinks that it's normal to ask Santa. I didn't grow up with Santa, and I feel bad for every parent who has. I mean, I have to deal with it now, but I'm like, when are you going to find out? Everybody in here knows Santa isn't real, right? I'm not breaking any hearts. But I can't, I'm just like, oh, I can't wait till the jig is up. Okay. So again, so this, so that I like. I love Elf on a Shelf, but Santa's hard. Because how can I explain how, like, Santa brought this kid an Xbox 360? I don't mind that stuff.
My brother decided to not do it as a kid. I spend money on your gifts. It's me. I work
One
hard to
day.
get you stuff.
One day. This is so funny. Who is this? Cami? Even your outlets? Oh my gosh. Did your kids see you make that? I'm assuming this is for your daughter.
Everything's JoJo's. I'm like, what?
That is too funny.
Well, there you go.
I love it. These look really good. Ashley. Ashley does some pretty killer work, guys. She's the Photoshop queen, I would say. Half the time she puts stuff in, I have to squint and then look back at the original file to figure out what was Photoshopped in there. She's got some clean stuff. These all look really good, though. I've yet to, like, snark on one rug. You guys definitely got the perspective on them. They look really good. Phew, I was like, the next one's gonna have a bad rug. Still good. Cool. This one's really cool because the sofa is at a different angle. I've always seen the sofa like up front, but I like that it's kind of off to the side. Is that it? Yep. Okay, good job, y'all.